Hello.
Hello, hello. It's so nice to have you on my podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be with you. Yeah.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Mandala Effect. I am absolutely thrilled to have my teacher, Master Dev Om, with me today. If you follow me on Instagram or if you've been following the podcast over the last few weeks, you will know that I am in Goa, in India, completing my 300-hour meditation teacher training with the incredible Dev. So we have just finished, and it has been a magical, wild experience. I was actually asked yesterday, do I feel proud that I have completed this qualification and this achievement? And my response was, well, I feel like I got high and went on a wild roller coaster ride of transformation. And we'll get into a little bit throughout this podcast about the transformation that happens and that you can experience as well. So I met Dev online last year when I was searching for a meditation teacher training that I could do online. I used meditation to help myself heal and transform in so many ways, and it was synchronicity and the divine, no doubt, that led me to your training. And it has been, I did my 200 hours online, and it was all the energy, the way that you teach and the meditation that we did. It was absolutely magical. So I then kind of kept going, and here we are in Goa. So Master Dev, thank you for being here.
Thank you for you also to being here and to pursue your path with dedication and with commitment, which is very beautiful. And yeah, we just completed a spiritual coach training, the 300 level, which is so just to tell all the viewers, the 100-hour was meditation teacher, second level 200-hour was mindfulness coach, and the 300-hour was spiritual coach. So don't forget what all things we have done.
It honestly just feels like this crazy ride of learning so much about myself, and that's the main point, isn't it?
That's the main point.
Self-discovery, and when you understand yourself, you start to understand how the world that we operate in works. So before we get into that, I would love to know, and every guest that I have on, I ask them, what is your role in this world and what is your purpose?
Well, yeah, that's very beautiful. We just did this exercise yesterday itself about defining your purpose, because that really gives clarity in your mind. And I actually of course, few years ago, in fact, it's been 2 decades now I'm teaching. So 2 decades ago, maybe I've defined my purpose as to live and spread freedom, love, joy, and consciousness. I realize that if I don't live it, I cannot spread it. And if I just focus on only living it and not sharing it, then I am actually going and creating my own world, my own dome, where I am feeling that, yeah, it's all beautiful, it's all good, but I don't have any mirror to check whether I'm really living it nicely or not. So when I also take up a task of sharing it, you guys, every student of mine becomes my own mirror, right? That yes, I am on the path and I'm able to share it properly, and when you guys transform, then I realize that, yeah, I am still on a right path and I'm doing the right thing. So I found sharing is very powerful tool, a very powerful way to keep yourself also on the path and keep growing, which is amazing, right? And that's why sharing is powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when I started my self-development journey, one of the first things you kind of learn is to understand what your purpose is. But I think it's very easy to think, oh, that's not important. We fall into the ego trap of I want this, I need to be this, I need to have this, I need to do this, but actually what is the point in doing all of that without a purpose?
Yes.
Has your purpose changed at all over the last 20 years, or has it kind of...
Well, it has become more simple and more profound. So it has not changed, but probably if it would be 2 line, now it is 1 line. It is more simple, it is more profound, and it is more without any if and but. So no matter what is happening with me in my life, no matter whatever is going to come tomorrow, I know that I'm just be doing this, and I've been doing it successfully with all the happiness and joy and satisfaction, and every time with each kind of situation, it made me more aligned with my purpose, and automatically it becomes very beautiful, because then as we also discussed in the class, that it removes the duality from inside you, because it brings a great level of inner alignment, that your passion, your vision, your purpose, your hobby, your obsession, your effort, everything just becomes one.
Yeah.
Right, when you really have this purpose, which is actually not only about yourself or a very self-centric one, but as a bigger thing. As Buddha said, he always gives the name Bodhicitta. Now, Bodhicitta is the person which carries the universal mind, which understand and comprehend, want to work, thinking about everybody around and not only about himself. So when your purpose is a purpose of from a space of this bodhicitta, it's amazing. It takes you over and it makes you one. It makes everything inside you integrate as one, and then you don't need to really feel confused anytime. You don't need to think anything. Whatever may come tomorrow, whatever life may bring tomorrow, you know what you're gonna do, and that's beautiful, because that's huge power.
Yeah.
Right?
It's beautiful and it's simple.
And it's simple.
And one of your biggest teachings and one of the biggest things that I have learned from you is the art of simple living and simplicity. Now, living in the Western world, it is not simple. We make it as complicated as we possibly can, and we very much are brought up to live how society tells us to live, and chase the ego dream. But what does living simply mean to you, and how can other people learn to live simply?
Yeah, so we need to understand that what normally is, this is actually an amazing question, that we need to learn what simple means. Ideally, we should learn just that what complicated means, but that complicated has become natural to us. So we are trained to actually live and behave complicatedly, because life or mind loves complications, because you feel like achieving something and ego gets the boost. While in simple thing, you're like, that's like normal. But if you look around yourself, if you look at the nature, if you look at the life, if you look at the routine life, it's beautiful in its simplicity. And wherever there is complication, what goes missing is beauty.
Yeah.
So whatever is beautiful, actually, most of the time it is simple. If it is, sometimes we say, oh, it's simply beautiful. Or in Sanskrit we say this Naisargik Sundarta. This is the organic beauty which comes out of being simple, just like a small kid. A kid does not know how to, dress up or build or do the makeup or how to present himself, but it's beautiful, cute, because you can see life live in a kid.
Yeah.
And that liveness of life in a raw format, without any performance pressure, without any sense of achievement or fear of the results or impact of the results. Whatever that child does, it's simple.
Yeah.
Because that is the only thing it knows, and it becomes beautiful. So whatever is natural to us is actually simple to us. But when we put things like how it should be, how people would like it, how like the performance pressure, the pressure of gaining the result,
Yeah.
acquiring something, gaining something, achieving a special status, achieving a special place and power and situation. All these things create complications in life.
Yes.
Coming to the spirituality, it has to be the most simple thing available to the human mind and human life, because we all have spirit, we all have soul. Spiritualism means whatever nurtures your spirit. It's as simple as that. I just say this. Whatever nurtures your spirit is spiritual for
Yeah.
you. But on the name of spiritualism, we have done so many complicated
Yeah.
things. And this is human mind from thousands of years. It's not only in this contemporary society, but since thousands of the years, all the traditions, all the things have been making spirituality and spiritualism so complicated, so that mind and the ego of the mind achieves it in a very complicated manner and feel, now I am enlightened. You see, I mean, hello. The moment you feel that, you are essentially discriminating from people to people. You are separating yourself from everybody else.
Yeah.
And discrimination is complicated. Simple connection, simple love is simple, it's beautiful, it's not complicated. And that actually makes your enlightenment also worthwhile.
Yeah.
Because there is beauty into it.
Yeah.
And discrimination, there is no beauty.
No.
So for me, simple is beautiful. And we have this thing in India, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. We take care of the beauty part of it also. Because if it is beautiful, it is divine. And it is related with truth, the core. So when we care for all the three things together, the truth or the core or the real essence, the divinity and the beauty, this together becomes simple.
Simple.
And simply divine. And simply beautiful.
And when you explain it like this, and when, sat in class and learning from you and being in it in such a immersive way, it makes it appear very simple while we're here in this beautiful setting, and life and divinity and getting in touch with your spirit seems so simple. It just seems like the only way of life, which is very much what I've experienced. But then you leave the peaceful setting of the classroom, you leave the peaceful setting of the teachings, and you enter back into this reality that then the ego mind comes in and makes things complicated again. So what would be your tip, if there is a quick tip, to leave the ego mind, to ignore the ego mind?
Very simple tip is, when you connect with yourself truly, you actually come back to yourself, to your home. Remember that you are your home. But our training and conditioning tells this, that you are not your home. You have to keep finding home somewhere outside.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you start looking at yourself from other person's eyes, that how other wants to see you as. And that takes you away from your true self. And it becomes complicated then, because you are trying to be what you are not.
Yeah.
And then you are never feeling complete in that. You are still trying to become something else, and then something else, and then something else. So the simple tip is, just be you, unapologetically. And you are simple, and you are home.
Yeah.
You are with yourself.
Yeah.
And yes, refinement will be there. Refinement is a lifelong process. But first, learn to be you unapologetically, free from others' mind and eyes, and be cool, be good in your own eyes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's, we hear a lot about self-love and all of this, and it's all quite fashionable now to fall in love with yourself, but there's falling in love with yourself and the Instagram version of self-care, and then there is understanding who you are in your very core and loving that. And that, when you love that, you're suddenly not separate from anyone, you're not separate from anything.
Exactly.
And this is when we can begin to enter non-duality and and life can become magical.
Yeah, and then it leads you to the
Yeah.
very beautiful path. But yeah, of course, this Instagram version of self-love
Yeah.
is again trying to fit into others' eyes, that what they like to see you as, and you just want to be that. And it is not that cool most of the time. And I know many influencers in my life, and many time in order to become cool in front of others' eyes, you actually start to hate yourself, because you end up doing so many things which is why you are doing it. You're like killing your soul and doing that just to gain something, maybe followers or likes or whatever. Well, I don't mind you choose to do anything in life. That's your choice, that's your freedom. If you like to be an influencer as a professional, that okay, you are a professional influencer and it is your job, then okay, just do it as an artist, like an actor, right? Don't take it as your life. Take it as your act, as an actor does, right? But within you, within yourself, be real, be home, be what you are. And also, you can be an influencer from a different kind. Why do you want to be an influencer as everybody is? You can be a truthful influencer, right? You can be a real motivator influencer. You can be an influencer which actually influence people and motivate them and promote them to be themselves unapologetically, or to connect with their true self. And believe me, I think people would like that more.
Yeah, because people connect with that on a soul level.
That is one. And second thing, that would be simple for people to follow. People will feel that yes, I can also do that, and you motivate them to do that. So when you give people on Instagram like goals, like couple goals, relationship goals, food goals, travel goals, look good goals, a great selfie goals, exotic location, vacation goals, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It becomes fascinating for them, that it's more like a story from like a Narnia world or something like this, but it cannot happen in their life, and they get into complex. So what you are doing essentially on a spiritual level, if you look at it, you are killing your soul, you are killing their soul, which is not good, right? How beautiful it would be that you create your soul, you enhance your soul, and you help them create their soul, and then their soul. That's a different kind of influencing, right? That would be really beautiful. So when you motivate them to be simple, to be real, to be themselves unapologetically, and to just live their life the way they want to live in a more truthful manner, this will appear achievable for them. And they would feel motivated, I can do that, why not? It's so simple. And then you actually become channel to create their soul also, which would be beautiful, because then you are living as a divine channel,
Yep.
It's automatically you're generating great amount of divinity inside you, which is so cool. And you can actually do this doing and being an Instagram influencer. You just need to change some point of view.
Absolutely. It's so funny, because I feel like we always use Instagram as an example of the world, because everybody feels that they have to share their life on Instagram. And I use it as a tool for my business, but I've also felt the pressure of Instagram, and I know other people actively avoid Instagram because of the stigma that it has around, it's not real, and it's a highlight reel of somebody's life. So if we then also take everything that Dev has just said and take it out of Instagram and into your actual day-to-day life, how you interact with your family, with your friends, by being unapologetically you and in touch with your soul, and spreading and helping people connect with their soul just by connecting with your own, that is how we begin to create a huge change in the world.
Yes, because this is exactly, it starts to change your life, and then it will change the world in a way that when you start being you everywhere properly, you will go through a great amount of shift in everything possible in your life, which is beautiful, which is for including the beauty in your life. So you really need to trust the process. You need to hang on. You need to be ready to lose people.
Yeah.
But that's great, because then you will just get those real people in your life which value you, which value what you're speaking or what you're sharing, and you don't really need like lots of crowd which is just pulling you down just to, I mean, amazing how ego wants to create a crowd around him, and that crowd end up pulling that person down, and then you are always in an endless struggle of keeping yourself up by proving yourself that you are higher than others. And this is complicated, of course. And the struggle is not easy. Struggle is complicated, simple as that. But the moment you move yourself out from that rat race, from that proving yourself, and you start to live a very real life, a simple life, what you get is you get the ease in life. You become restful. You get the flow, and that flow will take you to your real direction, to take you to where you need to be, and to make you free. Because when it takes you to your real direction, it will make you free from that fake cages you live in and you have built around you, or fake directions, or fake expectations of the people or the crowd around you. And that is beautiful, because you really need to trust this process and need to volunteer yourself properly with this process, because this process of gaining the simplicity back, the flow back, the alignment back, and ending the struggle, it all happens as one family. It happens as one thing. It's a group of things which comes together and which is beautiful. And once you have this group of qualities imbibed in your life completely, and then they are here to stay, oh my God, life is different. That's the transformation. And then what you got, the most important thing is you feel home. You are unshakable then. Nothing can shake you. You are all empowered and you own your life. This owning only can come when you come back to your home, to yourself. Right?
Yep. And that's been my experience over the last couple of weeks is I thought I was on this path, and I thought I was on this journey and this spiritual journey, and I thought I knew a bit of something, and then you are in it, and and I feel like I've learned how to own my life and be the master of my life in a whole new way, from a place of love and flow with the universe rather than against the universe, believing that I have to struggle to make something happen. And this making something happen, I believed, was from a place of something that wasn't ego, but actually it was still ego. It was still a need for survival. But when you really connect with this teaching of simplicity and love and being unapologetically you do step into something different and a different energy.
Absolutely. Yes. It is actually your natural energy. It is your organic energy.
It's the simple energy.
It's the energy you're born with. Mine feels it's a different energy because you don't see people around you living like that. But hey, whom you are waiting for to rescue you?
Yes.
It's only you.
Absolutely. I love that, because my friends in the past have said, nobody's coming to rescue us. Nobody's coming to rescue you. It's only you. And this is one of the biggest things that I hope to teach people is you have to take responsibility for your life. You have to take responsibility for how you live, how you experience life, how you perceive life, and then how you're going to create your life, because you are the creator of your reality. Which we're not taught in school, but there's something that we have to learn as we go through the school of life. So, bringing the conversation onto meditation, and maybe you could explain a little bit about how you found meditation, or how meditation found you, and then we'll talk a little bit about how people who are listening can use meditation to start to change their lives and become the master of their life, But actually, my first question for you is, can you explain meditation? What is meditation?
Oh, yeah. So, meditation is a huge inner alignment. It's a state of beautiful inner alignment, spontaneous inner alignment, like organic one, like where you are not making an effort, you are aligned, you are flowing, and you somewhere feel deeply connected with yourself and with the divine at the same time. So you feel that you are not alone, or this simple organism of body mind mechanism, but you are something bigger than what is apparent to you. You are something bigger than this, and you are here not just by chance. There is some purpose. So you just feel all these things together, and that I call a meditative state. For me, meditation is a technique to bring you in the meditative state. All right. So when you talk about what is meditation, actually, because we do lots of meditations and we said we can do vipassana, we can do active meditations, we can do running meditation, swimming meditation we did the other day.
Mermaid meditation.
Mermaid. So different kind of techniques and different kind of things, but essentially all the meditation techniques are there to create a space for you to find you with yourself, right? To be in that meditative state. And when I feel this deep connection with myself and with divine, and now it is, this connection is constant. It's like unshakable, unbreakable. It is just there organically. You reach to this state, and this connection actually start to become permanent for you. And then when it is a permanent, you are a meditator. If you are not, if it is not permanent, then yeah, you are trying to meditate on the path, but still ego is playing its good game with you. So important is not only to put all the burden on meditation itself, but also take some more responsibility to decide to take some charge and become free of what pulls you back, right? So meditation for me is a path of growth where you learn to own your life, to take the charge, to bring your consciousness onto the driver's seat, and do some inner alignment and your deep connection with yourself and with the divine.
Yeah.
To live a beautiful, positive, happy life, full of joy.
Full of joy, and then spreading that.
Yeah, to live the light and spread the light.
Yeah, and that's, for me, that's very, very beautiful. And in the 100-hour training, you explain meditation as a way of life, and that is what I think that was one of the first. I was like, yes, absolutely, I could really relate to that.
Yeah,
and
there's one very important thing to understand over here is that meditation is not an activity, and that's what people, especially in the Western world, they also feel like, all right, the way we go running or we go gym or we go to eat food or we go do yoga, we also go and do meditation, or we meditate 10 minutes a day and 20 minutes a day and update our timings on Insight Timer and then see how much graph is going on.
yeah.
All that is okay, that is very outer activity, but meditation itself is not an activity until it's going deep and you are feeling it. When you are not doing the act, when you are not doing the technique, when you are not meditating, then if meditation is with you, then only it is working, no?
Yeah.
That is the real path of meditation.
Yeah, you have to take it off the mat, you have to live it. It becomes a way of life, and it's a connection. Yeah, beautiful. So, do you want to get a little bit into how meditation found you?
Yeah. Well, I don't really clearly remember, but it would be kind of a building up from my childhood of everything. I was like a rebellious soul. Since my childhood, as a child, I was atheist. I was not believing in God. While in India, I'm brought up in a very religious family, and I used to hear so many stories from my grandfather about those mythological stories, and it was like, oh, magic. No, I don't. It doesn't seem okay for me to just blindly follow that. I needed to experience it. So this questioning or the seeking ability, I think I have since childhood. So I question everything, and I wanted to realize whatever I want to believe. So um, and I was never I was always a misfit, and I never felt bad about it actually, because I get many people who feel that who say that they were a misfit since childhood, but they were feeling bad about it because they wanted to fit in. But I never wanted to do that. I was a misfit, and I was kind of easy with that. That okay, I am not like that. So I wanted to do social service because for me, that time as a kid, serving people, working for them was like the highest good thing I can do with my life. So I left my home and I went to Mother Teresa to work with her, and I think it was 95. And I lived there, I worked with her, we were working for people, and there actually I we were doing this prayer meeting every day in the morning from 6 to 7 or 5 to 6. I don't remember exact time now, but there we were meditating also. The first time I meditated with Mother Teresa, she was holding the space for meditation every day in the morning for all the volunteers from all over the world. So I started doing meditation that time, and then I kept doing it all the time. This is how I actually started. And then I came back, I met Thich Nhat Hanh. He became my first teacher for mindfulness.
Yeah.
He used to call it thoughtfulness, complete thoughtfulness back then. Again, it was that time only in 95. 95, yeah. And then I met Dalai Lama, and I got very impressed by them. Before that, I was reading lots of books I was reading Gita, I was reading The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, I was reading Kabir, another famous saint in India, and they all were like for non-duality and, living a higher level of life and all that stuff. So I was reading these kind of books since my childhood. And I was very impressed by Buddha and his teachings also as a child. And so all these things, combined together, kept on making an impact on my mind as a child. And I learned a lot from my grandfather also about how to be a good human, how to develop those good qualities, and simple living, and beautiful thinking, where you think about everybody and not only about yourself but everybody who is around you. So these are the things which he gave me. I was really close with him. And so this is how I started meditating, and then learned lots of, I was interested in mysticism, energies, learning about them. So I learned healings, I learned different things. But then I kept growing on the path of meditation and spiritual development. And then all the healings and all the modalities, I kept growing ahead of them, and found meditation and self-inner development and reaching towards realizing the non-dual nature of existence and the soul, and the deep connection between soul or our consciousness with the huge universal or divine consciousness. That actually kind of became my passion. And so and in 96 I came back from Mother Teresa. I started my business. I did my network engineering and masters in IT, and then started the business of software exports. We were dealing with American clients. But my meditation journey also kept growing, and in 2003 I decided just to stop that and focus completely on meditation. So I left Delhi and moved to McLeodganj to live near Dalai Lama, to learn and to meditate and live in the nature, in jungles. And for 6 years I just kept doing that. And till 2009 I was just living there, meditating the whole day, not doing anything else. Of course, learning, understanding, meditating, all that stuff. And in 2009 I got my realization, what gonna call it, enlightenment or whatever. And then after that all the questions and answers remain. And after that there was it was a different life. After that it started, and I was I mean, somehow people started calling me to their cities or homes to talk and to maybe answer their questions. And organically, everything started happening somehow, one after the another. And then I realized that the sharing is the life then the sharing became the life, because I was feeling huge energy inside me and I needed to share that, and I was automatically getting the ways and mediums to share that, which was beautiful. So it was like magic, like everything was just happening, life was giving me and I was just flowing. And since then I'm just flowing till today.
Just flowing till today.
Flowing,
No
yeah.
plan.
No plans,
Living
actually.
in uncertainty.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, there is no uncertainty. I don't see any uncertainty. It is so certain that life will be beautiful. And
Life takes care of you.
and life takes care of you. And life will use you if you are usable.
Yeah.
So all I take care of is to keep myself usable by life. And then life use me beautifully, because life use you beautifully, always.
Yeah.
And if you are not usable, then life abuse you also beautifully.
Absolutely. Slaps
Properly.
you until you wake up.
Yeah, so it's actually your choice. Life just gives you back what you make out of yourself. So, and that's huge learning I've made in these years, that you keep yourself usable by life or divine, they will use you beautifully, and that means you are being a beautiful being, that they can use you at their hands. But if you are not usable by them, then life slaps you also.
Life slaps you. I've had a few slaps. I'm sure everybody listening to this has had a few slaps.
Yeah, but those are the moments of realization,
Absolutely.
that learning and opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
And you can always fix. You can always fix it. You say, yeah, I missed, but that's okay. I just missed, but it's not that permanent. Now I can fix it now. And fix it.
Yep.
That's that simple, and life immediately registers that. It's so simple.
Yeah, and then life begins to support you.
Yeah.
So I have two more questions for you.
Yeah.
One is, how can people begin to live this way of life?
Oh yeah. So the very first thing is, become bigger than what you think of you. Become bigger. You are bigger. Don't just think for yourself. Think inclusive. Feel inclusive. Live a bigger life than you have been living, than you are habitual of living. Don't look for opportunities or points to feel victim inside, because ego wants to do that. Ego wants to tell you that you are being a victim. Don't do that. Even if you get that, it's okay, I can handle it, I'm bigger than this, it cannot affect me, I'm bigger. The more you will start to feel it inside you, you actually start to become bigger, and the ego cannot trap you, and life will get this beautiful flow, because you are becoming eligible each moment with this kind of thought process, eligible of being God's hand or divine's hand, being usable for universe. So yeah, this is a very big, very, very nice trick, that live a bigger life than you have been living. And feel that what can be a bigger thing, a higher thing, a purer thing, a divine thing in this. And it will always keep telling you the next step, the next step, the next step.
Yeah, and by really learning who you are and connecting to that purity within you is...
Yes. So second tip is develop some consciousness, live a conscious life, build a conscious life. You have to build it, you will never get it. And I don't know why everybody just keep waiting for that day when everything will be right. What is right?
Everything's going to fall into my lap and be magically fixed.
You have to build your conscious life, consciously, own it. Feel that you are the responsible person to whatever you are getting in life. So don't feel, I have to do it. Feel that I get to do it. I can build my life. It's so beautiful, it's an opportunity, a beautiful opportunity. And build it consciously. It's like giving yourself another birth, right?
Yeah.
And it's awesome, because now you can build yourself the way you want to build yourself. And so beautiful.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And the key to a beautiful life. Okay, my last question, maybe the biggest, but we'll see. What does real freedom mean?
Real freedom means that you become so natural that nothing can bind you or trouble you. That's all. Well, freedom can be defined in many ways, and for different people it may mean different, but essentially everybody defines freedom not from the sense of freedom, but sense of their binding and bondages, and that's the problem. So for me, real freedom is when nothing can bind you, can trap you.
Yeah.
Not even any insecurity, any fear, anybody's words about you, anybody's point of view about you. You become free of everything. So basically, freedom is your basic nature. The soul is always absolutely free. And I also say that you are born free, you shall, and so shall you live. So don't define freedom from the space of your bondages, otherwise you are limiting your freedom. Feel that freedom is when nothing can bind me.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't become unruly. You don't become like, okay, I bind you. If you try to bind me, I try to bind you. If you become aggressive, if you become oppressive, if you want to occupy the other, who knows what is binding whom? You feel that you are occupying the other, then you are binding him. You are also bound by him. Right. It's a very beautiful Sufi story about the Sufi master was moving around in Baghdad on the in the market, and there was a guy, a person who was pulling his bull, or it was a bull or a cow, whatever, a bull, and going dragging him to go with him, and this bull was not going. So this Sufi master asked his students that, look at that, what is happening? So they said, the owner of the bull is trying to take the bull to his home or wherever, to the foals, but he is not going. So are you sure who is the owner, who is the master? Said, well, it's obvious. This guy is the master of this bull. So all right. He took a knife and cut the rope from in between. And the moment he cut, the bull ran the other direction, and the guy was running behind him to catch him. And then he said, now look, who is the master? So who is binding whom? That guy is feeling that he is binding the bull, but actually bull was always free in his spirit. And the moment he got the freedom, he ran in a different direction.
Yeah.
And the guy ran after him. So who is running after is actually a bound person. And something which is running ahead is the master. So when you are trying to capture somebody, when you are trying to control one, you are always insecure to keep controlling them. You are actually bound by him.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So your freedom is when you live freedom, when you share freedom.
Yep.
Right? When you are not bound by anything, and when you don't try to bind anybody. And then the freedom is organic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that, and I love the thought of the bull running away. It also makes you free of your goals, the things you believe that you need to achieve, the things that you're attached to, like the material things that you're attached to. You can free yourself from that as well. You don't need to be bound by this idea that you need to be somebody or have something, or, you know, when you can connect to that divine within you and experience real freedom, you realize you don't actually need any of that, and that life takes care of you.
Exactly. It's so simple.
So simple.
Yeah. Yeah. I also have a quote that aspire, but don't be a slave of your aspirations.
I love that. Really love that.
You can aspire, but not make it on a slavery level. Huh? Right. The only way to win the rat race is not to be a rat, because even if you win the rat race, you'll still be a rat. So, to be a rat, go out of the rat race, forget about winning or losing the rat race, right?
Just leave the rat
and
race.
just leave the rat race. Then only you can prove, or you will feel that you are no longer a rat.
Yeah.
So don't try to win the rat race. You will still be the rat. What the fun?
Oh, this has been such a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And So I have actually had, whilst I've been on this training and through having spoken to friends about this training over the last however many months I've been doing it, and while I've been in Goa, people have said, oh, I would really love to do what you're doing. So I'm going to put the links to Soulversity and the training that I have completed in the description below if anybody is interested in learning more about how they can work with our master dev and take and begin to learn some of this incredible way of life. So thank you very much for everything.
Thank you so much, Rose. And I would like to take this opportunity to invite people to live a conscious life, to build a conscious life for yourself. And in the Soulversity, we are also building this global conscious community where, this is our tribe. These are the people who can understand you. And remember, if you find yourself a misfit, be that unapologetically and feel proud of it. And know this, that there are people out there, everywhere in the entire world, maybe hidden, but they are there, who are like you, who are misfits. And my effort is actually to make this beautiful global family of these all misfits who want to live a simple and beautiful harmony, full of peace, joy, love, happiness, and freedom life. Not to be pulled by others and told by others that what they need to do in life, and be organically beautiful and simple, right?
Yeah.
So join us there, be part of this beautiful community so that you know your tribe and you can help each other and you can live an inclusive life which is automatically flowering, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. All the links will be in the description below, and thank you very much for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of the Mandala Effect.
Thank you so much. Lots of love and light to all of you. Thank you.